I'm good. Sorry, we were just talking a great deal. It was so interesting and I wasn't videoing, so now I'm videoing for a little extra sort of bonus bit. So what we were talking about is that actually the crew all actually live on board even when it's...
Even when we're not sailing, yeah. So it's a working ship, working crew, just like any other boat or vessel at sea. Crew lives and works on board. We take on different crew in different ports, depending on how long the previous crew's been at sea. Most are trainees. It's kind of sort of a sea school or sea academy, as it were, learning the 18th century rig, which is far more complicated than something from the 19th or 20th century. And obviously it's all handmade. Everything you see, everything you've seen in this video is all handmade. And there's not even a block on board, a piece of wood that hasn't been hewn out or sanded down by somebody. So anytime a block breaks or something, I feel really bad about oh my god, you know, Joe made this and now I've gone and broken his block, you know, because they sign everything. Everything's got somebody's signature on it. So it really is kind of a living ship in multiple ways. The fact that it's all natural fiber, hemp and tar and wood and all that. So,
And you're leaving on Saturday?
Leaving on Friday.
Friday?
On Friday,
And it's going to be motoring up the Thames and then sail later?
And then sailing as soon as we, hopefully, if the wind's in the good direction, motoring as soon as we get outside traffic separation scheme of all the cargo ships coming in and out in London. And then we're on to Bremerhaven.
By sail?
Well, we hope, sure.
Because somebody was saying that about 85% of the progress you made around the world is actually by sail, and the motor's used a bit.
I would say so. I would say anywhere from 75, 85%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, the difference is that on these shorter legs, we have to get somewhere. We have to be there.
Yes.
Maybe we have a week's worth of time to get somewhere, and then if we're delayed by wind, waves, weather, whatever it is, then we have to go by motor to keep our deadline here to come to the public and have you guys buy tickets so we can keep sailing.
So when did this one launch?
2005.
All right, yes.
I think 2003 is when they laid the keel. 2005, I believe was when she left for China.
Because I remember that incorrectly earlier. I thought it was 2008, but I was close. I was the right millennia.
They were definitely sailing around then. So she's made one trip to China already, and now we're on our second one now.
So somebody was saying that the original ships of these only lasted a limited number of trips before they were done.
Trips or so, something like that. I mean, the wood took its toll on the wood, you know, those trips, and nowadays we have much better understanding of how to take care of wood and what to do and things like that, and they didn't last forever.
All right, so you'd expect this to last quite a lot longer, not because you're doing less mileage, but just because the wood's better looked after.
I think so. I think that's part of it, but also, I mean, if this ship was sailing year round, all year, and sailing, you know, 24/7, the rigging, the strain and stress on the rigging would probably be, it would probably not last much more. In my mind, I think maybe 5 or 6 years, something like that. But we also have the materials now to be able to replace things easier. It took massive amounts of manpower to be able to care for a ship like this, and they could build it in half the time, a quarter of the time.
Do you have much ballast in there?
We do. I don't know how much, but it's lead bars, and I think there might be some steel and stone down there as well, but I think most of it's lead.
A little bit lead. So yes, because I mean, it appears to sit fairly high out of the water, but it's always hard to tell how much is underwater at any one time.
Right. Well, like I said, she's the length that you see on the up to the deck. She's almost the same below the water, so she's quite big. She's quite fat. But the ballast that we have ballast obviously, but then there's also technical equipment.
Well, you don't want it sort of
tanks and all that
moving around too much in the wind, do you?
Yeah, that's part. But she does move quite a bit just because she is so bulky. You know, she does not really made to cut through the water.
Yes.
She's supposed to, you know, kind of glide through the water.
It's all about cargo space.
Exactly. It's not about getting back fast. It's about getting back at all with all of the cargo that she had on board.
So it said downstairs that the original one had 30 guns. Were there some on the deck or something? Because you don't have enough gun ports.
Yeah, there were also some up fore. and then some further in the aft.
All right.
We're going for smaller guns.
So you didn't put in all the original gun ports?
Not all of them, no, because we have equipment and there's a carpenter station, some other stuff up forward.
Also, presumably it's a bit stronger if you're not putting too many holes inside of it.
Yeah, sure, but like I said, it's also the equipment that we have as well.
Yeah.
You know, so
yes, because you've got a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, and we don't.
You know,
the guns we use
the
for
traditional
signaling,
1745 radar systems and everything.
Right. I mean, the guns that we have, we use for signal and for courtesy and things like that. But we don't need them, so we don't have any more than we would actually need.
Yeah, to make it reasonably impressive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a simple balance.
You're not planning to get into any confrontations with Somali pirates if you go around there?
I hope not. Yeah, well,
because if you do go past there are still, you know, pirates around these days.
I just don't think they're probably not interested in us. They'd probably more
something that's got some value.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, you got some cannibals, you got some gunpowder.
There you go, stuffing some nice silverware down the barrel. We'd probably poke some holes in some of those ships.
And I thought, you know, a couple of shots would probably clear them off without having any requirement to be anywhere particularly near them.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
So how long have you been on board?
Off and on 10 years. This particular trip, it's only been 2 weeks. So I've only been on for 2 weeks since Oslo. But yeah, I've been.
So how many sort of months out of 10 years do you think you've been on board? Roughly, I mean. You know.
3 maybe.
It's not
3 years, 2 years maybe in total.
Wow.
Yeah.
It gives you the real sort of full experience, doesn't it?
Yeah. The longest period I was on was 6 months, and the longest at sea from land to land was 3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks. Quite a long time. That's my limit, I think. My limit away from a nice pint, I think.
So the crew's a mix of sort of semi-permanent people and sort of temporary people.
Yeah, it's you know, like I said, it's kind of akin to a school or an academy. You have the teachers who are semi-permanent. You have the higher-ups who are come and go within their professions, and then you have the people down below that being taught that come every week or every 2 weeks or every 5 weeks or whatever have you, however long certain legs are. But yeah, that's the attraction to it, I think.
Do you get many people that find they're much more seasick than they thought they'd be?
Yes. I've never gotten seasick, so I don't know how I've gotten a little dizzy, but I know.
You get seasick?
Yes, I do.
But do you get over it after a while, or does it?
Yes.
But do you get seasick every time you go to sea, or is it just the first time and then you're good?
No, it's actually every time I go to sea.
So how long before you get over it? Don't mind me asking.
3 days.
And then you're good?
Yeah.
So you don't want too many 2 or 3 day trips, basically?
I like longer trips.
Cool. Oh dear, I think I used to get very seasick when I was younger, but I used to get car sick. I don't really get car sick anymore. Oops, running into somebody's wheelchair.
Yeah, no, I've never really gotten seasick, but people definitely think that being on board is one thing, and I don't think anybody ever. Maybe somebody has, but if you're new to sailing or you're new to the ship, you can't. It's not what anybody expects.
Yes.
You can't say that anybody that has ever come on board has been. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be like. It's completely different.
Hard work,
including myself in that.
Hard work.
Yeah. Eat, sleep, work, repeat. With little tiny breaks in between to play cards or things like that.
Somebody was saying that it's fueled a bit by coffee and cinnamon buns.
Yeah. Good food, good coffee, good company.
Oh, cinnamon bun.
Yeah,
thank you. Anyway, thank you very much for that. I do appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my time here. So, anyway, I'll just.
Cheers.
Go up there.